to success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Rankin. This is going to be a fun one today. We're going to be talking about Jake Gyllenhaal movies. I'm pretty sure I spelled his name right in the thing because it's not easy to spell. But, over here, I've got Robert Kastner. Robert, how's it going? I've got oops, sorry.
You're good.
Right.
It's great. I don't know if anybody knows this. People who know me know this, but Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite actor as of now. He is the man I go to when I need my cinematic fix. So the idea of not being on the ranking is ridiculous. I'm glad I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Also, you've got Jacob Barber. Jacob, how's it going?
It's going well. He is not my favorite actor, but I have yet to see a bad performance from him, so I'm excited to talk about it.
And last but not least, we've got Jonathan Curry. Jonathan, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on one of these episodes, but yeah, a very good actor, especially in the making. And it is kind of unfair how underrated he is as an actor, and not many people talk about him. But yeah, there's some strong movies in his filmography that we'll talk about.
Yeah, but how this is going to work, we're going to nominate a movie we think belongs on a top 12 list of Jake Gyllenhaal movies, and then everyone else says, to it. Because there's only 4 people on the panel, it's going to come down to the other 3 people whether it makes the list or not. But it should be really fun. Robert, I'm going to go to you first. What is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Okay, so when thinking about the Jake Gyllenhaal filmography, I think there are staples. I think if they're like the top 3 or 4 or 5 are not in the list, I think it's an invalid list. So I was making it. I once did a Jake Gyllenhaal debate about his performances, and the other person had Nightcrawler, which might come up later. I picked him in Brokeback Mountain, the one which he was nominated for, the one which should have won Best Picture that year but did not. All these things because I'm a big fan of the Jake Gyllenhaal hyperactive performances. This is the opposite of that, but I think it plays to what the dynamism of what he can do. We don't get to see it too often because usually he is ramped up, but just Brokeback Mountain is a wonderful character movie. It's a beautiful movie. 20 years later, it still gets its dues and should get more dues. Relationship with Heath Ledger in that. The wife actors, wonderful. There's not much to say. If you haven't seen Brokeback, go see Brokeback Mountain. It's a lovely film. Ang Lee won Best Director for it, as he should have. It's Brokeback
Mountain. But Jacob, what do you say about Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, I feel like anytime we have these actor topics, there's always that one's off the list. That one's obviously going to make the list. And Brokeback Mountain for Jake Gyllenhaal is one of those movies. It's obviously going to make the list because it's not only a fantastic movie, it's a fantastic performance alongside all the other actors in the movie as well. It's fantastic. I've only seen it the one time, but one time was enough for me to know that it's a fantastic movie. I'm sure I'll give it a rewatch eventually, but I think it absolutely deserves to be on the list.
Yeah. Also, Robert, your mic's picking up a lot of noise as well. But just leave. But Jonathan, what do you say about Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, I rewatched it for this, and it holds up. And it's a beautiful love story. In addition to being an LGBTQ romance, it's ahead of its time. And Ang Lee created such a wonderful story here, a very tragic story that you feel for these 2 characters as society shuns them. They shun their romance, especially when they part ways to have to marry their significant others. Yeah, Heath Ledger gives the stronger performance, but Gyllenhaal gives a quietly strong performance because he has to keep his hormones in check. Let's just say that, and has to basically abide by society. And well, he marries Anne Hathaway's character. So yeah, great performance, great movie. Yes to Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, it's been ages since I've seen Brokeback Mountain, but I do remember liking it. I do think it's a good movie. It's actually one I was wanting to rewatch for this, just because it's been a while since I've seen it. But I like it enough. No, I'm going to say yes. So it's going to make the list. Jacob, we go to you next. What is your next nomination?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a movie where I think, his co-star is probably giving the stronger performance, but he's just, he's also really good in the movie. Prisoners. I think Prisoners is fantastic. I think it might be my favorite Hugh Jackman performance. I think he's fantastic in this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is doing great as well. I love the story. I love the ending that, just kind of leaves it up to you. Fantastic performances throughout. Great story. Great, some brutal scenes, some violence. It's a heavy movie, but I think it's done extremely well. So Prisoners will be my first nomination.
Jonathan, what do you say about Prisoners?
Yeah, it's a very good movie from Denis Villeneuve. Very bleak, very cold, and again, while Hugh Jackman gives the stronger performance, Gyllenhaal gives an equally strong performance as his facial tics take over, and when he's basically losing the case, he's losing some clues there, and he cannot find a way how to solve this case. And he has probably one of the most badass haircuts in his recent history, but. Yeah, it's a very good performance. It's a fantastic movie. So yeah, I'll say yes to Prisoners.
Yeah, I think Prisoners is great. And it's weirdly enough, it's not the only Villeneuve movie he's been in. So maybe the other one come up. I don't know. We'll find out. But with Prisoners, I think it's fantastic. And yeah, I'm going to say yes to it. And Robert, what do you say about Prisoners?
Yeah, this is one when I was saying top 4 to 5. This is in the top 4 to 5. When I also was talking about Jake Gyllenhaal ramped up to like 11, it's this movie I think of the most because he's going around, he's beating the crap out of like David Desmalchin in the interrogation room. It has one of the best, I think, of the century, like cinematic, like suspense set pieces after he's been shot by Melissa Leo and he has to get the kid to the hospital. And the lights, and he's driving, and his blood is just pouring down his face. He doesn't know where to go, and it's just suspense nonstop. Breaking the keyboard at work. There's just a lot of things I think about when I think about his particular performance in Prisoners. But it's set in Pennsylvania. It gives a great Pennsylvania aesthetic. The idea of like it's kind of an anachronistic thing about like kids being able to go out on their own, and then the dangers of what can happen in a modern society. How that plays into like. The idea of child abduction through the years and a mystery that unravels. Spoiler alert for Prisoners, but you should see that as well if you haven't. It's a great all around. I think it was the first Denis Villeneuve movie I watched technically, and I love it. I love Gyllenhaal in it. I think it is comparable to Hugh Jackman personally, but again, I'm biased. So yeah, the Prisoners up, 2 thumbs up for me.
Is that Prisoners is going to make the list, and we go over to Jonathan.
You know what? Let's get it out of the way. Yeah, he should have been absolutely nominated for this performance, and I'm talking about the 2010's Taxi Driver, Nightcrawler. Yeah, he delivers a very unpredictable performance. You never know what he's going to do with his behind the camera while he's also in the van as well. He commits. He commits very well behind, when he's driving, while focusing on the crime scenes, chasing the criminals. It's a blast. And great movie. Great movie by Dan Gilroy. I think that's his name, Dan Gilroy. Nightcrawler. That's my nomination.
This is one I watched for the first time. I think I watched it this year for something. I can't remember what it was, but it's been one of those movies I hadn't seen for a long time until I finally got around to it. And yeah, like Nightcrawler is a pretty good movie. I dug it enough, and yeah, I do think he should have been nominated. And Yeah, so it's an easy yes for me. Robert, what do you say about Nightcrawler?
Yeah, I mean, everything hinges on him. It revolves around him. He's like Jonathan mentioned the little taxi driver. It is a bit Travis Bickle. It's also a bit Jordan Belfort because he's like selling you all the time on everything. Like everything is kind of like a seminar about motivation, and everything is about like trying to push everybody forward to see things in his eye, like how he sees them. It's fantastic. There's another Dan Gilroy movie that might come up here too. I'm not sure, but like the way that he writes and how Gyllenhaal and him, their connection to that, along with Rene Russo in that. Riz Ahmed, great as his partner slash foil. Bill Paxton, incredible. Rest in peace. Just like as the dude who's like his mentor, but his rival, who he then one ups. Just great stuff. Very like harrowing. Lets you into a world in a CDLA. CDLA is always a great place to be. It's just great. Yeah, it's a yes for me as well. Again, top 5 has to be in here.
And Jacob, what do you say about Nightcrawler?
Yeah, I don't think there's much I need to add, so I'll just say I agree with everything that's been said, and I'll give it a yes.
That Nightcrawler is going to make the list, and it comes to me, and I'm going to go for one that I don't know if anyone's seen, but it's one that I saw that was on Disney Plus. Yeah, I'll check it out, and it's a movie called Demolition, from 2015, directed by John Mark Valley, and it's one of those fascinating movies where it's like basically he plays this private equity investor at a firm, like, and then his wife gets hit by a car, and while she was recovering in the hospital, he tries to get some candy from a vending machine which malfunctions. So it all starts because he drafts a complaint to the vending machine manufacturer, which vents his personal experiences, then leads him getting into a conversation with their customer service rep, where they end up sort of sharing details and falling in love and all that. Just it's one of those fascinating stories about dealing with grief and just some of the sort of surprising like connections you can make when you talk to someone, and I really liked it a lot. I thought it was just they did a really good job of sort of breaking down like grief and what it can do to someone, and so I don't know how this is gonna go, but see how it goes. Robert, what do you say about Demolition?
So this wouldn't have been in the top 5. I think we got 3 for sure. But I will tell you that Demolition is my favorite Gyllenhaal performance because of the things that you mentioned, Malcolm. I think how it plays out, how his turns of like being someone who used to try to build things, and then it becomes a characterization of when all that goes awry, then his character changes, and it's about like how we can dissolve and rebuild things. And it obviously everything that he undertakes is tantamount to like having to build himself back up in his psychology. And it's a fascinating movie. That the movie in and of itself, it's not so like Nightcrawler has, for instance, things around it that are buoyed, are enough to keep buoyed next to the Gyllenhaal performance. Demolition's not quite that, but it is in my top 12. So I will say yes, but if the others don't go for it, I would see why. It's also not, it's on the bottom half of things people probably have seen of Gyllenhaal. So the performance is just what makes it. So I will say yes.
Jacob, have you seen Demolition?
I have not.
Up to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I did see Demolition for this, actually. Because it's one of the very few left that I haven't seen, and I wanted to check it out. And it's a fascinating character study about the human condition and how a person handles grief, but in an inordinary way. He dissects things. He dissects things where he wants to look in the inside to see the details of how everything works, especially his marriage. And it's a very fascinating way to process grief. And it's a very tricky movie to perceive because it will leave some people befuddled, as I did initially. But then I kind of got it, Yeah, I think it's a great performance from him. I do understand that people will get frustrated by this. I did like this very much, though. I think there was one moment that I will not spoil that seemed a little more contrived, and it should have been explored more or better in the third act. But overall, I thought it was a very good movie. So I liked it just enough. It made it into my personal top 12. So I will say yes.
Demolition is going to make the list. But that we go back to Robert. What is your next nomination?
All right, so I think this is another thing I debated once. This movie is just fascinating, and there's something about it that the layers unpack, and more things you find out what's happening in the movie, things that happened behind the scenes of the movie. Fascinating. This movie didn't get nominated for anything, which is gross. I think it's a black eye on the Academy in the 21st century that this movie didn't get nominated. Gyllenhaal's the star, but it's the other performances that people always talk about. Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., and then all like the cast of this movie that fill out all of the margins is insane. You could keep going, and you know people from stuff. As we get to like the 10th, 12th cop that you see in this movie, it's Zodiac. It's wonderful. How it is it plays with time, how it divides up into the 3-act structure, and like how Gyllenhaal. It's a movie about obsession. It's a movie about trying to know when to quit, and when you can't, what does it take away from you? Which is a thing that Gyllenhaal does great in a character study. It plays well for him to be the guy who can't let it go. Mark Ruffalo is incredible. Robert Downey Jr. is, I mean, this is right before Iron Man. This is like the thing that people were like, he's back. He's the guy. This is what we always wanted from him. And, drugs and getting in trouble took it away. It's fascinating. It's Fincher at his most Fincher, I think, honestly. It has to be on here. And I'm very happy Jakey gets to be, is the star of this movie, because it all hinges on him, and it's great.
Jacob, what do you say about Zodiac?
I like when Robert goes before me because he says my thoughts a lot better than I can voice them. Because I agree with everything that he just said, but I wouldn't be able to say it that way. Yeah, I think this movie is fantastic. I think it's got a lot of great performances. It is one that I think if you rewatch it, you can catch different things. So it's got that going for it as well. And yeah, I think it absolutely deserves to be on the list. This might be my favorite Gyllenhaal performance. He's fantastic in this. Although I did think you were going for Bubble Boy at first. I thought you were talking about Bubble Boy.
I mean,
and
we're getting close.
A little disappointed when you went to Zodiac, but I can't be too disappointed.
Jonathan, what do you say about Zodiac?
At the same time, 100% yes. It should be on the list.
Yeah, the fact Zodiac wasn't nominated for any Oscars that year is insane. I wholeheartedly believe if they were doing the 10 Best Picture nominees that year, Zodiac for sure would have got in. Because it's looking at the 5 that was got into Best Picture, I can't see Zodiac getting in over
2007, right?
Yeah, 2008 Oscars, 2007.
Yeah, that's a strong year. Yeah.
But that being said, it should have. I think it should have got something. I think because it's got a big ensemble, I think that's why all the cast is really good. So I think it's a case of trying to figure out who's supporting, who's that lead, and all that. That could be part of that part. But they decide Zodiac is a fantastic movie. And yeah, it's absolutely deserves to be on this list. It's an easy yes for me. If that we go back to Jacob, what is your next nomination?
I'm going to go with one that I actually just watched today. It was the first time, and I'm disappointed in myself that it took me so long to get to it. I thought End of Watch was fantastic. I absolutely loved the performances from Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. I love the filmmaking of it. I think is unique. I love the way they utilize that. I think there's some really great supporting performances. And the ending, that I wasn't expecting that. I think it's well written, well directed. Gyllenhaal, there's some good humor in it, but some great tension as well. I thought it was really well done. It's one that I'm sure I'll go back and revisit. But yeah, I really enjoyed this first watch of it. I'm glad it was one of the ones I got to for this. So I'll go with End of Watch.
Jonathan, what do you say about End of Watch?
This was going to be my next nomination because, in my personal opinion, I think this movie was one of the most overlooked movies of the 2010s. I don't love handheld camera work, like overdone handheld camera work, but in this movie, it's very effective because it shows you the everyday rush that these police officers go through, and for a breather, you're just in the police car with Gyllenhaal and Pena as they exchange friendly banter and friendly insults, or imitating the other people as well. Like, is this your daughter's quinceañera? That made me laugh a lot. And yeah, it's a very well done movie. I really like their the banter between them, the anecdotes, the insults, the brotherhood. Anna Kendrick's in here, Natalie Martinez, David Harbour is in this, Frank Grillo. So yeah, it's a great cast. America Ferrera. Yeah, I think it just stays with me, after the movie's over. This is definitely like one of my top tier rewatches, if you believe it or not. And yeah, very good movie. Yeah, the ending hits hard, but yeah, it's a fantastic movie. So I'm gonna say 100% yes on End of Watch. Great choice, Jacob.
Yeah, this is one I need to give a rewatch, because the last time I watched it, I just wasn't a big fan of it. Like, I liked it enough, but it's like I think partly it was because, like, when it comes to handheld camera work, it's one that I've never been too much of a fan of. Like, at least when it's a lot of it handheld. Like, if it's just like brief moments in movies, I don't mind it too much. From what I remember, it bothered me a lot. But it is one I do want to give a rewatch to see if it could just be like I was in a bad mood that day or something as well. But for now, I'm going to say no. But Robert, what do you say about End of Watch?
Well, I think it's a very American movie. Obviously, it's deep into what's happening in L.A. and the police and the
gangs,
citizens there, gangs. Like, it's not. I can see how it might be a barrier internationally, even if you're just talking Malcolm that maybe you just had a bad day or something. Even so, I think it has a barrier to it. This was the last time David Ayer was good, I think, before he got caught in
Fury. You don't like Fury?
Yeah, I think this is the best. Okay, Fury is fine, but I think this was the best he's been, and hasn't got back to this level.
Sure,
because he got caught in the DC network, he got caught in the streaming BS, he got caught in all this stuff that was bad for him. He probably at that point should have just went back to writing personally, because stuff started to spiral out of control. I love this movie. Love End of Watch. I love the dynamic of the two. Everybody else brought it up. Yeah, it's made based on how you connect to them in the non-actiony scenes, and then how much you feel for them when they're getting targeted, when things start to go awry, and even with the connection with the other officers too, and how that's a community that plays into it as well. Yeah, I mean, this is a wonderful movie. It wasn't technically my top 5, but it was like right close and should still be on this list. So I'm going to give it a yes as well.
Yeah. David Ayer's next movie is called Heart of the Beast, coming out this year, I believe, with Brad Pitt and J.K. Simmons in it.
Okay, if he works well. I don't know if he's worked with Brad Pitt since Fury, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm not going to not give him chances. I'm just saying that.
Oh yeah. No, I know. I just wanted
one plum in there.
Yeah, I just want to see what he was there. I forgot he worked on The Beekeeper, and I'm working.
Oh, that's right. You know what? The Beekeeper was fun. I forgot about that. Yeah. It was fun.
But maybe when we get to David Ayer rank him, that'll be another topic. Anyway, I forgot who went on. I think it was Jake.
Me.
Oh yeah, Jonathan. Yeah.
Okay. So Jacob stole my nomination, which was a great one. I'm gonna go with one of his earlier works, and I'm gonna go with October Sky. Yeah, this is a very inspiring movie about chasing your dreams, especially in the world of science, and specifically rockets. And yeah, it's sincere, inspiring. Homer Hickam, he's very persistent in creating rockets with mathematics, sciences, and he aspires to become an aeronautic engineer, especially in NASA. Yeah, it's very mature, very well done. He gives a winning performance. As you see the dreams in his eyes as he does it. As he creates every single rocket, he destroys every rocket there. So yeah, yeah, it's a wonderful movie. So I'm gonna nominate October Sky.
Yeah, October Sky is actually a first time watch for me. I watched it for the first time yesterday. Because it's one of those ones I was looking at the movies I haven't seen. It's like some it's like it probably won't come. I was like, then I saw October Sky. Yeah, that's probably most definitely coming up. So I watched it, and yeah, I mean, I'm probably not as high as other people are, but I do think it's I do like it. I do think it's really good. So it's an easy yes for me. Robert, what do you say about October Sky?
When I think about being in school, I think about like days when they would not teach us things. They would show us movies. And one movie I remember watching there was Glory, to learn about the Civil War. And another movie I remember watching was October Sky.
Yeah,
and I think a few times. Yeah, this is a quintessential classroom film. Yeah, this is it's a movie about dreaming. It's a movie about not being shackled to the where it is that you come from. It's about having. There's a lot of things about like teachers and students. Laura Dern having one person believe in you, and how that can be the rocket ship, quote unquote, pun intended, to blast you off into where it is that you're looking to go. That the relationship with his father, who wants him to follow the family business, which is West Virginia, so it's coal mining. And then how that slowly morphs over time as he becomes more akin to what it is that his son wants to do. His relationship with the other boys there, their familial relationships, and how it is that they grow into this friendship unit that can't be torn apart, and they all find purpose in what it is that they're doing, which seems like a silly hobby to most people at the time, but is really something that inspires hope for the whole town. So it's a great uplifting movie. A lot of good performances. I think Laura Dern is awesome in this movie. I don't know who was nominated for things, but I thought maybe she could have snaked like a dark horse one there. But yeah, it's a yes for me as well. It's in the top 12, so I have to say yes.
Jacob, what do you say about October Sky?
I also enjoyed movie day in high school, where I saw this for the first time. Glory. The first time I actually saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail was in English class because we were doing a camp.
Really?
Wow, your school is awesome.
My English teacher was pretty cool. So yeah, I haven't watched it since then, since high school, but I do remember absolutely enjoying it. I was looking for it. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, so I wasn't able to give it a rewatch this week, but I do remember just absolutely enjoying the performances and the science aspect of it. So it might not be high up on my list, but I do think it's good enough to be on the list, so I'll give it a yes.
I think October Sky is going to make the list, and it comes back round to me. And I'm going to go for this one. I don't know how it's going to go because I know this movie itself is very mixed. But I'm going to go for a very cold performance by Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's The Day After Tomorrow. If you see what I did there. No, like this is like I'm a big sucker when it comes to disaster movies. And Jake Gyllenhaal just and this is just a sort of fascinating disaster movie where it's like just about in all disaster movies it always seems to affect America mostly because they don't really show a lot of like world getting destroyed, but it is what it is. But I think I think that film is a lot of fun because I think Jake Gyllenhaal gives a good performances. I believe it's Dennis Quaid's son, if I remember rightly, but I think it's just I really enjoy this movie. I go back to this very frequently, but yeah, Robert, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
All right, Malcolm. I made a note list of like 20 to 25 Jake Gyllenhaal movies. Day After Tomorrow was not on that list. I can't recall, and Jonathan might disagree with me. I think maybe this is the last time like Noah Emmerich was okay.
Roland
Emmerich. Sorry, I always say Noah Emmerich because I think
that's the actor.
Yeah, I know. I always get that confused. I think it was the last time like Roland Emmerich was decent. I can't recall anything off. I mean, he did 2012 and stuff, but like people like those movies. White House Down, whatever. Yeah. There's a lot of things that make me laugh in that movie. My favorite thing is when they run away from cold. Like it's a thing that you can run away from to get into the library. It's my favorite part of any movie. Like, I think about that when I think about like top 10 Jake Gyllenhaal things that stick in my mind. It's like, remember when they ran away from the cold to get into the library to like save all the people in New York, and then the wolves come on the ship, and Dennis Quaid's partner, and the two guys are like trudging along, and they have to go to Mexico. What a weird movie! This is a movie where they have to go to Mexico to save humanity. I wouldn't fly today. I bet you, 2026, we would have problems with that. So it's a fun movie. It has a lot of problems. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. No.
Jacob, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
I like Tuesday. Tuesday's fine. It's a good day. I haven't seen it.
Wow, really?
Jonathan, what do you say about The Day After Tomorrow?
I think Tuesday is an underrated day of the week. I mean, hey. But no, The Day After Tomorrow. It's fine for what it is. It is laughable in parts. The thing is that I don't remember much memorable moments from Jake Gyllenhaal. All I remember is he has a crush on Emmy Rossum, and that's it. And it's not that special in comparison to his other movies. So I'm gonna go no. It is fun for what it is, but no.
Yeah, it's fine. I figured that was going to be the way I was going to go. I just want to talk about it. But
yeah, there you go, Malcolm. You're doing the good work. You're doing the detracting role. You got to throw a little shade in here.
I may have a fun movie in there maybe later. We'll see. But
Robert, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Yeah, there's one left in like the top bit. I think it's a bit divisive, sort of. I've heard varying like polar responses to this movie. I'm going to nominate Donnie Darko. I think it's a very interesting movie. The fact that it has this like, it looks like a character study about a person with, a mental illness, and how it is that they're trying to cope with that in kind of like this typical suburbia middle class situation, and then it turns on its head and it becomes this weird like science fiction time travel-y movie, and trying to unpack the mystery of that. I just think his performance in it and how it connects with everybody else, Drew Barrymore, you got Patrick Swayze, you got his sister, you got yep, all these people are in it. I think it's a very interesting character thread. It obviously plays a bit with the movie Harvey, because he sees a giant bunny everywhere, so that's fun. Like I said, it is a little divisive in terms of like the quality of the movie versus the performances, but I think it connects together pretty well. I think it's a well-told story. The ending of it is done very well, I think. So I think in the canon of Gyllenhaal movies, I think it has to be in consideration because of what it meant for him, what it means in the grand scheme of how it plays into his entire filmography. So I'm going to nominate Donnie Darko.
Jacob will be back in a minute. His internet kind of went out. But Jonathan, what do you say about Donnie Darko? And actually, here's Jacob back. Jacob, what do you say about Donnie Darko? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was weird because the stream that I ordered is just fine, but apparently my laptop was like, "You." No, Donnie Darko. I've only seen it the one time, but I enjoyed the performances. It was one that kind of stuck with me. Yeah, I need to give it a rewatch. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Performances were great. Yeah, so I hope my internet stays around this time. Give it a yes.
But Jonathan, what do you say about Donnie Darko?
It's a mixed bag for me. I couldn't quite grasp what Richard Kelly was trying to accomplish here. It is ambitious. It's an ambitious swing. And there are some good ideas around, but I think it's just so scattershot that I just lost my investment with this movie. Gyllenhaal does give a good performance as the titular character. It's very interesting. I'm gonna go with slight no, but I understand if it makes the list. I don't know what Jacob said. I wasn't paying attention if he said yes or no, but yeah. Okay, so it's up to you, Malcolm.
Yeah, yeah, and this is one that another one that for the longest time I hadn't seen. I watched it last year because I think I watched it for the later series when we did that year's movies. Yeah, I really liked Donnie Darko. I thought it was a good movie, and it's one of those movies that I didn't really expect to like as much, but it's a really sort of fascinating movie, and so it's going to be a yes for me.
Okay.
Donnie Darko is going to make the list, but Jacob, what is your next nomination?
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man. Far From Home. I thought this was a great, follow up to Endgame. Kind of, Spider-Man. Peter Parker was, pretty close to Tony, so I felt like that was appropriate. And just kind of him trying to get back to normal life. He didn't want to do Spider-Man stuff on the trip, but the universe had other plans. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is really good as Mysterio or Quentin Beck. Starts off good guy. I liked him. Then, I don't pay attention to the comic books. I'm just a superhero movie fan. I don't know if it was comic book accurate, but I don't care because I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I thought it was great. So I'll go with Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Jonathan, what do you say about Spider-Man: Far From Home?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was just fine. Gyllenhaal has fun with it, but I thought his storyline was really drags the movie down. It's just one expository speech after another, and it just when he uncovers his intentions, it's kind of silly. And to be quite honest, it's the weakest of the three, soon to be four, Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and yeah, it doesn't quite fully register. It's just fine. So I'm gonna say no.
It's not really a knock when the other two movies are great. I'm just saying.
Well, like I think you just made my point right there. I mean, I think the first one and the third one are pretty great. Yeah, too.
Yeah. I mean, I did really enjoy. I do enjoy a good Spider-Man movie. I think Spider-Man: Far From Home, I think is pretty good. This is tough because this is one that I do think Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is great. Like, and as well, but just with Jacob, like, I don't care if they don't go comic book accurate all the time. It's like, do you really think they would cover up Jake's face with a fishbowl helmet? There are just some actors where it's like where they just don't want to cover up faces. Pedro Pascal, for weirdly enough, I think is another one where they just refuse to cover his face a lot of the time. But I'll give it a slight yes. I'll see what happens. But Robert, what do you say about Spider-Man: Far From Home?
I mean, I love a good Spider-Man movie. I like the dynamic between him and Tom Holland in the movie. I do agree with Jonathan. I think it's the worst of the three. In the comics, he's a special effects artist in Hollywood, and he uses that knowledge to make gadgets and gizmos like a magician. So it's slightly different. He is a villain. He's not connected to Tony Stark at all, so obviously that there's liberties there. I think there are still quite a bit more movies. I didn't put this on my list because I think there's an obviousness to it, but I also think in relation to the movie, I like Gyllenhaal in this fine. I like the relationships they build out fine, but in terms of like a movie for the Jake Gyllenhaal canon, I will have to say a slight no. Because I just think there's other things on here that tell more of a tale and connects better with his overall like oeuvre. That's a word, oeuvre. So I'm gonna say a slight no.
How do you spell that?
Ooh.
OEUVRE.
But I think Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be far from this list. But Jonathan, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go Jarhead. Jarhead is a very interesting movie where it's not focused on the war itself, but it's focused more on the soldiers that are forced to stay back from the action and just train and just wait and wait. But when they're at war, they worry about the people back home, especially their wives and girlfriends, because they worry whether they're going to cheat or do something else, and their mentality changes or shifts or deteriorates. Especially one scene where one of the soldiers receives a tape, which is the deer hunter, and it's something else. It's a home video, and it's funny, yes, a little bit, but it's kind of heartbreaking. It's a very interesting watch, very good. Good character study on Gyllenhaal's part. Some great performances from Jamie Foxx and Peter Sarsgaard. Underrated Sam Mendes movie. So I'll go Jarhead.
I haven't got around to Jarhead. I just couldn't find it anywhere to stream. Weirdly enough, though, I think I randomly stumbled across one of the direct-to-video sequels and seen that before I've seen the original Jarhead. I don't know how that is. I think it was just I just left Amazon Prime going one day. I just stumbled across the direct-to-video sequel. It was like, one of these days I'll go into Jarhead, but I haven't seen it. Robert, what do you say about Jarhead?
I know I said Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite. I haven't seen all of his work, and this is one I haven't seen all. I've seen clips of it, just haven't come across it at the right time. Okay. So I'm going to recuse myself as well from this, just because I don't have as much of a knowledge base for it.
Interesting.
And Jacob, what do you say about Jarhead?
Wow, I can't believe you two haven't seen Jarhead, because neither have I.
Wow, that's kind of shocking. I'll be quite honest. I thought, interesting. Okay, it's pretty good. It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I trust it. Like for me, I'm not a big war movies person as it is. So
well, like I said, it's not like a war movie per se. It's not like hoorah or anything like that. It's more.
I know what you mean. Yeah. But I'm going to go to a movie I did watch for the first time for this, and I think it's a very stronger performance from him, and that's the movie Stronger, where he plays a survivor of, and I want to say it's the Boston Marathon bombings. And this is just one of those ones where it's, once again, Jake Gyllenhaal's really good at playing these characters where it's like they've had a lot going for them in their life. So I talked about Demolition earlier. This is in a very similar vein in which he just feels like his life's turned to shit, and he really enough. This is one of those ones where it's like he sort of meets up with his ex, and his ex kind of helps him along, played by She-Hulk. I want to say it's Tatiana Maslany. It's just it's just a really good but it's another really good character study where it just sort of shows like how his mother, who's like leads him down this destructive path, like taking him addicted to alcohol and all that, and then his ex is really enough trying to help him out and helping him get to doing his rehabilitation and all that. And I just think it's a really fascinating movie. It's one of those movies where I was mad that it took me so long to get around to, because I've heard people talk about this for ages. And yeah, but Robert, what do you say about Stronger?
This is on the cusp. David Gordon Green. This is the last David Gordon Green thing before he got caught in the machine of let's remake all the horror things ever. The performance is so incredible. Like the physical nature of it. There's a lot of parts I like. Like there's a part where early on he's in the bathroom and they ask him if he needs any help and he pretends like everything's okay. But then he just has this like terrible breakdown. The weight of everything, like how normal things to him are no longer normal before everything starts to get back on track. It's powerful. It's palpable in that way. His relationship with Tatiana Maslany in the movie is fantastic. How it is they stage the bombing and then they stage like how people pick themselves back up from such a tragedy. It's on the cusp because I think there are movies that are better or more like quintessential to Jake Gyllenhaal, but it's a tour de force for him, and I like it enough that I'm gonna say yes as
well. But Jacob, what do you say about Stronger?
Yeah, this was one in 2017 that kind of flew under the radar for me. Like I didn't really hear much about it, but I happened to like find it and watch it. And yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's performance was fantastic. Like if we were just talking performances alone, I think this is towards the top. I think what Robert said is absolutely 100% true. The movie around it, I don't think is as strong as some of the movies that we've already got on this list, but I still think it's good enough, at least for me, to make the list. So I'm gonna give it a yes.
And Jonathan, what do you say about Stronger?
We're gonna sweep it. We're gonna go down the line here. I think it's a good movie, but it has a great performance. I always say there's a good movie with a great performance, and this is one of those. Gyllenhaal conveys all those emotions that all y'all said very, very well, and yeah, he's key to it. Yeah, this is an overlooked Gyllenhaal performance that should be deserved to be on this list. So yes,
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have part of the reason it is overlooked because it came literally the year after Patriots Day with
yes.
So it's like, and people probably think, oh yes, it's the same movie, or something like,
yeah.
But Robert, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
This is gonna be the first one where Gyllenhaal's not a big proponent of it, but it is movies. And we've been talking about a lot of heavy stuff. There's a little heavy stuff in this movie, but I think we need a little lightness to the list. So I'm going to nominate City Slickers, Jake Gyllenhaal's first performance. He
is in the movie. That's right.
Yeah, he's Billy Crystal's son.
Yes.
It's a lovely character story about like men in middle age and like how it is we try to regain what we lost. And Jack Palance won an Oscar, probably not deserved, but he did win it, so it exists in that. Did spawn a sequel, interestingly enough, made a lot of money. His relationship with Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern and Bruno Kirby, out trying to like reconnect with nature, sort of. But again, it's really like a camaraderie movie about like coming back to your friendship when life drags it out and you're not as connected as you used to be. And how you can find connection in the simplicity of things like being in nature and hiking, and in this case doing something crazy, which is like going on a cattle drive, which like nowadays we probably wouldn't do. 35 years later, we're like, that would be weird. But I think just again, it's his first movie. He's not featured in it very much. It's not really about Jake Gyllenhaal. It's about the movie, and it's a nice early 90s comedy. So I'm gonna nominate City Slickers.
Jacob, what do you say about City Slickers?
It's a blind spot of mine. I haven't seen it.
Jonathan, what do you say about City Slickers?
This is very, very tricky because it's a good movie, but it's not. I didn't write it on the list because I was really focused on Gyllenhaal. If he's like co-starring or starring, then yeah, you're gonna be in contention. Whereas he has a very small part. I do have one movie that he's there enough, but he is a supporting performance. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Yeah, what you said, it's a very interesting friendship dynamic story. A very fun western. Yeah, Jack Palance is great. I love his character. Billy Crystal's funny. Daniel Stern and Bruno Kirby. I love the exchange about recording like VHS tapes. It's funny. I'm gonna go semantics. I'm gonna say no, but I do recommend it as a very interesting throwback to westerns, and yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie. So, but I'm gonna say no. But no, I like that we talked about City Slickers. Yeah.
Yeah, similar scenes as Jonathan actually, because I do like City Slickers. I do think it's pretty good. But he does have it is a small world. It's not small enough that it's basically a cameo, but it's big enough to sort of be he's still credited in the movie, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think City Slickers is good. But yeah, because he is only a small part of the movie, I'm going to say no.
Good. I just wanted to talk about City Slickers.
That's fine. But Jacob, we're going to go back to you next. What is your next nomination?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just thinking because I feel like my Gyllenhaal favorites are on like the opposite end. It seems like, but I thought Brothers was really good with him and Tobey Maguire. I thought some really good performances here, and just some yeah, this kind of aftermath of war, and just some family drama. I thought, yeah, just I've only seen it the one time, but it's been a couple years. I thought it was really good though. I enjoyed the performances. Again, not as strong as some of the movies that we already have on the list, but I think for me, I really enjoyed it. So we'll see.
Jonathan, what do you say about Brothers?
Well, Brothers, I mean, it's a very strong foundation between two boys in the same family. I mean, you have to be there for one another in your family. But for the movie, it's kind of a very mixed bag for me. I think it's very over the top in terms of the PTSD situation. But the compelling scenes were involving Tobey Maguire, because he gave a very important performance where he illustrates two sides of the same coin with his personality. He's a ticking time bomb. But the weakest part is actually with Jake Gyllenhaal, because it's sort of a standard storyline where he has to redeem himself in front of Sam Shepard, who plays the dad, and it has to be with Portman's character because they think that Maguire's dead. So yeah, they cope with grief with one another. But I did like it enough. But in the end, I don't think it's as strong of a performance that I like it overall. But I just admire it. So I'm gonna go no.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of the movie Brothers. I think I like all the performances. I actually do like all the performances in this, and but I think the movie itself is a really sort of fascinating movie, especially showing this aftermath of like war and how it affects families and all that as well. So I think it is pretty good. I will give it a slight yes and see what happens. But Robert, what do you say about Brothers?
I hate being on the fence. It's lower on my list of top 20. I've seen it once or twice. It's fine. Jonathan sort of makes some good points. There's some over the topness in some of the performance, and it's not one of Gyllenhaal's that I particularly like. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I think I have to give it a no. But I don't feel good. Let me just be clear. I don't feel good about the no. I'm going to give it a no.
Unfortunately, Brothers isn't going to make the list. But Jonathan, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Okay, then I'll shoot my shot for this movie because I think this is an underrated movie that doesn't get talked about. And I know this director hasn't made a movie since then. I think he has one coming out, I think, next year. We'll see. But I'm talking about Nocturnal Animals, directed by Tom Ford. Boy, I have to be very careful here because it centers on Amy Adams as she receives a book manuscript from her ex-husband, which is played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and she left him 20 years ago, and basically asking for her opinion of the writing, and it's very twisted on both the fiction and the nonfiction, and it's very interesting and intriguing and dark and mythic, and up until the ending, it's terrific. So let's see where this goes. Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah, who would have thought a fashion designer could make a good movie? But yeah, I unfortunately I haven't seen it. And yeah, the movie Quiet Heaven does come out next year, which has a really stacked cast too. Just looking at it. But Robert, what do you say about Nocturnal Animals?
I've only seen it once. It had a lot of hype. I believe Michael Shannon got nominated for an Oscar for this movie. If
Yes,
I recall correctly. He's he's fantastic in that.
He's great.
He's wonderful. I like how he played. Like he's kind of like the last gasp of lull. That I'm trying to remember. Who does Jonathan? Who plays the husband in the story?
It's Jake, isn't it?
Jake's the husband. I thought he was. No, I meant like in the story that they're telling. That's unfurling that she's reading.
I forget. I think it's Jake too.
Oh, is it him too? I was trying to remember. Anyway,
because Aaron Taylor Johnson plays a creep.
Yeah, he plays a creep. I remember that.
And Isla Fisher, I'm assuming. Well, I don't want to give it away. Isla Fisher is in the story.
Yeah. Anywho, the dynamic of Michael Shannon with him as the husband in the story as it's unfurling is very interesting. Let
me see.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those like layered stories, right? You have the things going on with Amy Adams, and then you have the things going on within the context of the story that's playing out that has a connection with their relationship, sort of. It's very. It has like westerny feels, it has revenge feels, it has like relationship drama feels. I didn't know Tom Ford hadn't made a movie since this. I don't know why. It's a very good movie. It's on the cusp, but I am going to give it a slight yes.
Okay.
Nocturnal Animals.
Back to your husband question. You're talking about the second husband, right? Amy Adams' second husband?
No, I was trying to remember like so he wrote the story. But he is the husband in the story that she is reading.
Yes, because Armie Hammer plays Amy Adams' current husband.
Real husband. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just trying to remember. But yeah, I'll give it a slight
yes. Jacob, what do you say about Nocturnal Animals?
Oh man, it's on me. So I've only seen it the one time, and I don't really remember much. I wanted to give it a rewatch, but it's not streaming anywhere, and I'm cheap. So I do remember good performances from it. How many spots do we have left? Because when I had to leave,
3 spots.
3.
Not many good movies.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Okay, cool.
Might be lower down, but I'll say yes.
Tom Ford, yeah.
But it's back to me. I'm gonna try for this one. I think a lot of people called this sort of the return to form for this director who kind of got lost in the Netflix and Transformers vortex for a while. And that's the movie Ambulance by Michael Bay. And yeah, this is one of those movies that really surprised me that when it came out, because it's got Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Jake Gyllenhaal as these bank robbers that hijack an ambulance and to do crimes and that, and it's definitely been a while since I've seen it, because I haven't seen it since it first came out, but it's definitely one that I've been wanting to rewatch as well, because I had a lot. I think this is a really fun movie, and it's pretty much Michael Bay's return to form. We need more of these, because apparently Michael Bay's doing another Transformers movie, which I don't know. I don't know why. But also apparently he's doing a Skibbity Toilet movie, so that could also be fake. But Robert, what do you say about Ambulance?
Yeah, this is another one of these like crazed Gyllenhaal performances that is awesome, and you're like, you wouldn't think he and Michael Bay would mesh in that way, but they really do in this movie. His relationship with his brother, with Yahya Abdul-Mateen, with Isaac Gonzalez, who plays the paramedic in the ambulance that they take, who are now starring together in The Gray, which I just watched like a day or two ago. They have decent chemistry built from what happens here in Ambulance. It's a balls to the wall movie. It is like Michael Bay kind of went back into the lab and was like, remember the things that used to be good for me? Let's throw them in a moving car and let's do it that way. Like, yeah, I think that sounds good. Should have done that all along. It's on my list. It's a little lower. I will still get to talk about one more movie given how this is shaken out. So I'm going to give Ambulance a yes, because we need modern day. We need a little bit more of a modern day Gyllenhaal. I think this is the best one, maybe.
And Jacob, what do you say about Ambulance?
I never got around to it because I just had no interest in it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should give it a shot.
Jonathan, what do you say about Ambulance?
So I alluded to a fun movie that I was going to talk about earlier, and this was it. Yeah, because he steals the movie with a very scene-chewing, fun performance. Yeah, almost every line in this movie is kind of funny or it's like threatening, and he's having a blast with this movie. And he basically steals the movie from the action sequences, which is very crazy with Bay's camera work and the drone footage as well. It's basically a throwback to 90s movies, in a way, his old school 90s movies. I want him to return to these kinds of movies and not retreat to Transformers, because I think he's wasting his craftsmanship. I'm going to say yes to Ambulance.
This is going to make the list. We've got one spot left. Robert, what movie are you going to bring up?
How mad are people going to be because we have Ambulance and not like Flippin' Brothers or something? Sure. People are probably going to be mad. All right, there's one movie I have to talk about. I'm glad we got back to me. I feel remiss if we didn't talk about it. This movie is on cable all the time, and I love to get in on it whenever it is on cable, because even though it's not original, it plays into tropes you've seen a bunch of times. But the director it was only his second feature, I think. It's the best thing he's done since then. Warcraft, blah. But we gotta talk about Source Code, because Source Code is awesome. So it's Groundhog's Day. If the Groundhog Day thing was we need to stop a terrorist attack from happening, Jake Gyllenhaal's on a train in Chicago and he's only got 11 minutes to figure out what happened, and they keep taking him back, and he's trying to figure out what happened to him as well. And we find out he's like, spoiler alert, he's like a half a body in a tank. Jeffrey Wright as like the administrator of this weird program that he was a part of, and I forget who the lady is, as right now he communicates with all the time.
Vera
back.
Farmiga.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga is
Yeah.
the person who he's in contact with most. Michelle Monaghan is the lady in the visions in the past that he strikes a relationship up with. I flippin' love Source Code. Like, is it the best Jake Gyllenhaal movie? No. But if you're talking about like fun movies that have a decent premise and you can rewatch at all times, there's a reason why it's like in the top 10 or 15 of like TNT movies since it came out. Because people like Source Code, and I do too. And I'm glad I got to mention Source Code.
But yeah, and my experience when it comes to ranking is no matter what we have on the list, someone's always angry about something not being there. Jacob, what do you say about Source Code?
I say I'm excited to finish it because I lost track of time. I got about half an hour into it, and I was really enjoying it so far. So if it makes a list, I'm not going to be upset because I enjoy what I've seen so far, and I'm excited to finish it. But I just haven't seen the whole movie yet.
Jonathan, what do you say about Source Code?
What I say is mine is the very, very, very end. It's a very good movie. It's a very good action time travel thriller. Yeah, I like it very much. The way they handled that Groundhog Day aspect is very well done. Very good performances, especially from Gyllenhaal and Monaghan. Yeah, this is an underrated action sci-fi movie. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes. What happened to Duncan? Yeah. Whatever happened to this guy?
Did Warcraft, and then things fell apart.
He's out. He's out here. Yeah, he's in jail, director's jail.
Yeah, because his last movie he did was Mute. But apparently he's got a movie coming out this year called Rogue Trooper, based on a comic strip called 2000 AD. It stars Haley Atwell, Sean Bean, who you know is probably going to die in the movie. He's a battlefield. So I don't know. It doesn't sound interesting, but there's a new Duncan Jones movie coming out anyway. But that being said, on Source Code, I've got a few movies that are higher than it on my personal list, but they're also movies that I don't think, if I brought them up, would make the list anyway. So I'm happy to say yes to Source Code, because I do really like the movie. I think it's a fun action movie. So it's going to be Source Code is going to make the list, and it's going to close out this episode of Ranker. And now it's time to the fun part of actually ranking these movies. Just to recap what we've got on this list. We've got Brokeback Mountain, Prisoners, Nightcrawler, Demolition, Zodiac, End of Watch, October Sky, Donnie Darko, Stronger, Nocturnal Animals, Ambulance, and now Source Code.
That's a very good marathon right there. Yeah, I like that.
But that, Robert, what do you have for number 12?
Well, we're not going to do honorable mentions. I don't have many, but okay.
I actually forgot. Jonathan, do you have any honorable mentions?
Really 3, because I have Enemy. It's a good movie, but I haven't seen it since, and I've been meaning to go back and rewatch it. I'll be quite honest.
It's flipping weird.
It is a weird movie. Enemy, Everest. He has a small supporting performance, but I remember him having fun in this ensemble role. But it is a sad movie, and I like it. But Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, and I think it's a very compelling movie.
I like The Covenant as well. It was low. It's just not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, I really like the aspect where he wants to bring back the interpreter, the translator back. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, there's not a lot of movies I don't like that I've seen of Gyllenhaal's. But like for me, few that I had up, I really like the movie Wildlife, directed by Paul Dano. But he is,
movie.
And yeah, I should have brought up Everest now, because maybe I would have had a shot if I had seen it. So I do like Everest. I think it's good. But I'm also biased because it's about New Zealander. the movie Love and Other Drugs, I thought was a fascinating movie, and then it came out this year, and but Gyllenhaal doesn't have a big part in this. But The Bride, I actually really dug the Bride. But yeah, Robert, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have a few. There's like the underrated ones, the ones that were like in the mid 2000s, post Day After Tomorrow, but before like Zodiac. Proof with Gwyneth Paltrow and Anthony Hopkins, about the guy who makes the math proof, and then they like figure out where it came from and like look through the journals. And then the one I really had was Rendition, about a Middle Eastern man who gets caught out, and they put him into like a torture chamber. Then Jake Gyllenhaal has to work with like his wife to get him back, and like all the pseudo like post 9/11 terror stuff that we deal with. That's a good one. I really like The Guilty from Antoine Fuqua in Netflix, which was a remake of another movie, but him as the guy who's doing the 911 calls. Beautiful movie. It's basically him and like a bunch of voices that you hear. I like that. Velvet Buzzsaw, I mentioned Dan Gilroy, is a fun movie. Him and Rene Russo and everybody. And then I'll throw Southpaw out there. That's another Fuqua movie. I like it. It's not the best. It takes some liberties, but he gets jacked up for it. And I like his relationship with Forrest Whitaker. So those are my additional ones.
And Jacob, any honorable mentions for you?
Yeah, I would. I think I'm higher on Southpaw than most people. I really enjoy it, and it might be silly, it might be stupid, but I really love Bubble Boy. I think it's
nothing silly about it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
And a couple of honorable mentions that came up in the chat. Leo mentioned Moonlight Mile.
It's a good one. I like that one.
Brian mentioned Josh and Sam. Gyllenhaal's only really small part in that movie. Then Leo mentioned The Good Girl, The Sisters Brothers.
I love The Sisters Brothers.
That is a good movie. The Sisters Brothers. Yeah, that was good.
And Life. There's going to be at least one person that's going to be really mad that Life didn't make the top 12.
That's the silliest movie, but some people say it's the best Venom movie. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say it's better than Covenant. I'll say it's better than Alien Covenant. I'll say that.
But Robert, what do you have at number 12?
We're doing we write them down. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I haven't been here in a minute, so I have.
It's not well for me, but yeah.
All right. Give me a second. I was trying to. There's like a couple here that but you know what? I'll do it this way. Yeah, I'll say Demolition.
Jacob, what do you have for number 12?
I don't have my whiteboard, so just pretend I'm holding something that says Demolition.
Jonathan, what do you have for number 12?
Stronger.
I went End of Watch, but Demolition is going to be at number 12. But Jacob, what do you have for 11?
Go with Ambulance.
Jonathan.
Stronger.
Sticking with End of Watch. Robert.
I'll put Stronger here.
Also, with this list, like he's been made me realize how many one-word titles he's been.
Yeah,
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
The best one.
But Jonathan, what do you have for number 10?
Ambulance.
Sticking with End of Watch. Robert.
Yeah, I'll have Ambulance here.
And Jacob.
Ambulance.
But I'm sticking for End of Watch. Robert.
I feel like you're going to be stuck on that for a while, Malcolm. I said
Yeah.
October Sky, actually.
Jacob.
Nocturnal Animals.
And Jonathan.
We're gonna go to the tiebreaker. I'm gonna put Donnie Darko.
So we've got 4-way tie. We've got End of Watch, Donnie Darko, Nocturnal Animals, and October Sky. First come on and see will decide on what ends up. And it's going to be Nocturnal Animals.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fine. To be fair, it's really Amy Adams' movie, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But Robert, what do you have for number 8?
Yeah, I'll stick with October Sky.
Jacob.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since high school, so October Sky.
Jonathan.
Fine, it'll be a number 8. I'll put Donnie Darko.
And yeah, I know I'm stuck on the End of Watch, but it makes it easier for me when I'm watching the banners. So, but October Sky is going to be at number 8. Jonathan, what do you have at 7?
I'll go one more round with Donnie Darko. So I'll just rate Donnie Darko. One more.
Sticking with End of Watch, Robert.
I think I'll put Donnie Darko here. Yeah.
And Jacob.
Ooh, I was gonna go with Donnie Darko also.
So you're right, Jonathan. You are going one more round with Donnie Darko.
Yes, ma'am. Paid off. Patience sometimes pays off. Okay, I think. Nah, I can't put this movie in top 5 territory, so I'm gonna put this one here.
Surprise, surprise. Stick with End of Watch.
You know,
Robert.
I'm going to join you this time. In the watch.
Jacob.
I can't vote for another movie over one I've only seen the first 30 minutes of, so I'm gonna go with Source Code.
Jonathan.
We went to the tiebreaker. Source Code.
Yeah.
So End of Watch or Source Code. The first comment I see will be decided. And it was Leo, and it's going to be Source Code.
Okay.
No. That's fine.
Now it gets tough.
Yes, I think these are great top movies for top 5.
And yeah, just to recap what we've got left, we've got Brokeback Mountain, Prisoners, Nightcrawler, Zodiac, and End of Watch.
Woo!
But Robert, what do you have for number 5?
Yeah, End of Watch.
Jacob.
Yeah, since I just watched it today, I'll go End of Watch.
Jonathan.
End of Watch.
End of Watch. Jacob, what do you have for number 4?
Yeah, I might be stuck on this one until the end. Brokeback Mountain.
Jonathan, what do you have for number 4?
I don't know. I said Brokeback Mountain as well.
I went Prisoners. Robert.
I can't believe I had Nightcrawler.
But Brokeback Mountain is going to be at number 4.
Yeah, because I think Heath actually kind of steals it a little bit more. Oh boy. Okay.
Jacob, what do you have for number 3?
Zodiac.
Jonathan.
Prisoners.
Prisoners. Robert.
Crawler.
Prisoners is going to be at number 3.
Woo-wee.
And now we're voting for number 1, and it's between Nightcrawler and Zodiac.
Woo-wee.
Spoilers for my vote.
And I guess spoilers for Robert's vote. So it's really up to us, Malcolm. Shit. This is tough.
Yeah. But Jonathan, what do you have for number 1?
I think I revisit this a little more. So this is close. I'm gonna say Zodiac.
I'm also going to say Zodiac.
Yeah.
Robert.
Number 1, right? Zodiac.
Yeah.
And Jacob.
Nightcrawler. But again, really, really close between the top 3.
Darn close.
I would say between the top 4 personally, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But that time to recap our top 12. At number 12, we've got Demolition. At 11, we've got Stronger. At 10, we've got Ambulance. At 9, we've got Nocturnal Animals. At 8, we got October Sky. At 7, we got Donnie Darko. At 6, we got Source Code. At 5, we got End of Watch. At 4, we got Brokeback Mountain. At 3, we got Prisoners. At number 2, we got Nightcrawler. And number 1, we've got Zodiac. But if that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Rankum. Next week, we're moving over to Sigourney Weaver. It's going to be top 12 Sigourney Weaver movies, which should be really interesting.
Go find Dory.
Robert, we can do it for you online.
I write for a website called Bite Size Breakdown. We do little mini movie, TV reviews, articles, awards breakdowns. So check us out there, bitesizebreakdown.com. Otherwise, Trivia Landscape, Multiplex, TBNT, and Why We Love Horror, kind of the big 3, honestly, matches and reviews and stuff there as well. So that's where you can find moi.
Jacob, we can be on you online.
Yeah, you can catch me tomorrow. I'll be joining Malcolm as we talk about WrestleMania 29, a little wrestling talk. I'll be in Jordan Owens' team's ASAT tournament, teaming up with Chris Cass, because when you think movie trivia, you think myself and Chris Cass. And yeah, I'll be posting some clips of my comedy. So if you enjoy laughing, watch those and hopefully laugh. If you don't laugh, don't tell me you didn't laugh, because that's just rude. Don't just scroll and don't say anything mean, because I can't take it.
Jonathan, we can be on you online.
Yes, you can find me on social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, and Threads, at different variations of Cinecare. I watch reviews for Letterboxd. I just watched this documentary called The Crash. It's fine. There I do tournaments on my Instagram. I'm doing movies of 2016. Afterwards, I'm going to take a 1-week break. And then I'll probably be back to Aliens on Earth tournament. That will be it for Disclosure Day. And I'll be back on the Movie Hero Network regarding a mystery tournament on Tuesday. Maybe on the Pierce Code this week. Maybe review a few movies that I haven't seen. I haven't been there for a while. And maybe for the tournament, there's been some communication breakdown because, spoiler alert, I'm the defending team's champion last year. So I don't know if I'm going to compete or I have to just wait till the winner, is there, and then we have to compete against them. But we'll see. So yeah, that's it. This is great talking about Jake Gyllenhaal movies. So yeah, good episode.
And you can find me every week on Rankum. Every week on Tape Free Productions hosting Rankum. Next week will be Top 12 Sigourney Weaver movies. You can also find me on Spear from the Past. We'll be talking about WrestleMania 29 tomorrow with Jacob. And I'm also going to be on the mystery tournament this week on the Movie Hero Network, as well as the musical championship at the end of the week, which should be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll pop up here and there wherever you find trivia and all that. But until next time, that is the end of ranking for this week. We'll see you all next week. As I try not to leave the stream before I